Are you confused about when to sign up for Medicare? Most people that are not going to be drawing the Social Security benefits need to know exactly what steps to take and when to sign up for Medicare and how to do that. Stick around, I'm going to be covering that in just a moment in this video. Hey guys, my name is Kelby Hightower. I'm the CEO of Medicare Hub. I'm going to be covering with you how to sign up for Medicare when you're not going to be drawing your Social Security and the steps that goes along with. And there's really three main ways you can sign up for Medicare, and I'm going to be covering those in this video. So real quick, I want to remind you guys, if you are going to be drawing your Social Security, there's absolutely nothing you have to do to sign up for your Medicare. You're going to get automatically enroll in your Part A, which is an entitled part of Medicare. If you worked 40 quarters or 10 years or longer, you paid in enough FICA taxes, and we talked about that in previous videos. And then your Part B, you're going to start paying your Part B premium on your effective date. Now, just a reminder for anyone that's watching this that has a birthday on the first day of the month prior is actually when your Medicare Part A and Part B would start. If you have a birth date on, say, August the 1st, your Part A and Part B would start July 1st. Everybody else, it's from the 2nd to the end of the month. Your Medicare Part B or Part A and Part B effective dates are going to be effective the month of your birth date. So the first day of the month is when your Medicare is going to start, and then you'll want to enroll into a Medicare health plan. Prior to that, we usually tell our clients about 90 days out to set up a time. They can call and schedule a time 6 months out or a year out, be educated through the process, and then exactly know what they need to do 90 days out and then moving forward to have their plan start on their effective date of the Part A and Part B. So let's go over exactly what needs to happen when it comes to signing up for Medicare. And there's really three ways to sign up for Medicare. Option one would be calling the Social Security office to schedule an appointment. In just a second, I'm going to be back. I'm going to cover exactly the steps that when you do call the Social Security office, what happens and what you need to be aware of when you do call, so you have your information together and you can walk through this process pretty quickly. I'll be back in just a second. And what is option one? That's going to be calling the Social Security office to schedule an appointment. And what does that look like? Well, a couple things are going to happen that are very important. One, you need to be able to call the correct office. To be able to do that, you're going to see a link below, and also down in the description, you actually go to down in the description of this video, and there's going to be a link there for the Social Security locator finder or the office finder. So why is that important? Because if you're in a local area, you need to find the Social Security office identified in your area where you live and call that office. That's where you're going to schedule your appointment. Now let's get into the steps of what happens. When you call, a representative is going to answer and ask for your basic information to verify your identity. So they're going to want to know things like your full name, date of birth, and probably your Social Security number just to verify. So if your last name, first name, say Henry Brown, there's probably a lot of Henry Browns out there. They're going to identify you through your Social Security and your date of birth. And then what happens after that? They're going to really go into understanding your needs. The representative is going to ask you questions to understand the reason for your call. In this case, basically, you inform them that you want to schedule an appointment to sign up for your Medicare. So keep it very simple. When they do ask, what are you calling for? Just say, I need help signing up for my Medicare. And then they're going to take you to the next step, which is appointment scheduling. They're going to schedule a time for this representative to check the available dates and times for appointments. That's either going to happen over the phone or it's going to be face-to-face, depending on what's available, and then also specifically what you want. If you want to go in face-to-face and sit down with someone, they're going to schedule that time. If you want to do it over the phone, they can do that as well. They're going to look at their slots and schedules and do that appointment time. And then what's going to happen next is information and the documentation that you need will be more than likely given to you before the actual appointment. So I'm going to go over the information that you actually will need to be able to take in, or when you're calling, making sure that you have this information. That's going to be your proof of age, your birth certificate, possibly a passport, depending on if they ask for that. Social Security card. So identification for the Social Security card is important if you're going in and or if you're going to be doing it over the phone. They're going to ask for your Social Security number to verify that number again. Proof of U.S. citizenship or legal residence if they ask for that. And then employment information if you are still working. So there's some basic general information that representative may say, hey, at your appointment, I need you to have these things. Just be prepared for that. Sometimes people don't have a copy of something, and they have to look and search and find that. We walk people through those steps. If you don't have a copy of something that we're going over here, then you can call our office. We can give you steps on how to bring up or how to locate. Sometimes people are looking for a marriage license, birth certificates, and things like that. So anyway, that's just a side note. So then just a confirmation from that person. Once the appointment is scheduled, you will receive a confirmation of the date, the time, and the location or phone details of your appointment. And then they might send you a confirmation email or mail through just the snail mail process, sending you something out. And then the date of the appointment, what's actually going to happen at this appointment. Well, if your appointment's in person, you'll need to arrive at the Social Security office with the required documents. So if you're an organized person, get a folder or a manila folder or a notebook and write down the steps that they give you. Maybe have a checklist of those things that you need to be able to take with you to check those off to make sure you have them. File that makes it very easy. So my encouragement would be to create some order around this and put it in an organizational folder or a manila folder. Have your information gathered and put together and be prepared for the appointment. And then for phone appointments, ensure that you have all your documents handy. So sometimes we leave something out and we leave it on the other side of the house and you say, hey, hold on a second. And then you have to trample off, grab that documentation and bring it back. I would encourage you, if they told you to have it ready. If you have it at a desk, or sitting on the couch, or wherever you may be sitting at the kitchen table, have all your documentation ready. Have it laid out so you can see everything. That makes it easier on you. So if they're asking you for something, you can say, oh, yeah, hey, I've got that. And you can reach for your Social Security card or whatever they're asking for. So have it organized and out and all together. And then during the appointment, this is what's going to happen. A Social Security representative is going to review your documentation, ask any necessary questions, and then help you complete the Medicare enrollment forms that are going to be needed to fill out. Now that makes it nice because somebody else is filling out the forms and the information is going in there correctly, hopefully. Most of the time, Social Security office knows what they're doing. Sometimes they have somebody pretty new. And if you're dealing with somebody new and you can tell that, you can always ask for a supervisor or somebody that has management experience. They call them supervisors. And here's the thing. If you don't ask and they mess something up, then it's going to prolong the process of you getting to apply for your Medicare. So if you do find that you're having somebody that you're dealing with that's incompetent, I would maybe call back, hang up. If you are talking to that person, just hang up and call back in and maybe start the process over, or just ask for a supervisor. Just say, hey, do you mind if I talk to a supervisor? But they're going to make sure the forms are completed correctly. And that's very important, getting your processes and steps in play and the application done and then submitted correctly. They will provide information about the different parts of Medicare. They're going to provide you some general information about Part A, Part B, Part C, and Part D of Medicare. We talk about these in the videos that we do. So if you need some additional information, check out our YouTube channel. I've got a lot of content out there about just the basics of Medicare, the different health plan options and things like that, and then help you understand your options. So what I've found is with the Social Security office, they understand how to read about Medicare. They don't really understand about Medicare health plan options. Sometimes they will get you distracted about talking about their opinion. So telling you basic information like Part A is hospitalization, Part B is medical. This is how that works. But when they get into trying to talk and share and guide you towards a Medicare health plan, they're not licensed agents. They're typically pretty ignorant in the fact of understanding how Medicare Advantage plans or Medicare supplement plans and exactly what plan, if it's a plan G, plan F, plan N, the different, the 10 different plan options for Medicare supplements. And then you have a whole array of Medicare Advantage. And then if they start talking about drug plans, the confusion can just compound. So what will happen a lot of times is we've had people go to the Social Security office and they've been given misguided information about plan options. And then all of a sudden they're going to make a decision based off somebody that works at the Social Security office that is an expert at filling out forms and helping guide you through doing things like that. They're not experts when it comes to the subject matter of health plan options and how those health plans work and what's best for you. Looking up networks, medication, a lot of moving parts that like a licensed brokerage like us or a broker like myself would do. they do not do. And then often what will happen is it'll create confusion for you, and then you trust them, and then you're in something that creates more problems than it's worth. So just be thinking about, if they're sharing too much information about health plan options, it's probably an opinion and it's not necessarily a fact, and you need proper guidance when it comes to your options. And then follow up after the appointment. If there are any additional steps you need to take, the documentations you need to submit, the representative typically will reach out or inform you. That is going to be option 1 if you call the Social Security office and schedule an appointment. Here in just a second, I'm going to dive into option 2. Stick around. I'll be back in just a moment. All right, I am back. We're going to talk about option 2, and option 2 is going to take like an hour and a half. So if you can just go get something to drink and prepare the pillow around on the couch to watch this. No, I'm just joking. It's going to take just a second. I'm actually going to provide you a downloadable guidebook that we have for setting up your SSA.gov, or basically all these options. If you choose option 1 or option 2, we have a guidebook we're going to give you at no cost. Down below in the description below, you'll click on our guidebook. It's going to give you the ability to download that guidebook, and it's going to give you exactly the steps for option 1 that we just talked about, and then option 2, setting up your SSA.gov account and doing it yourself. So if you're going to set it up online and do it yourself, this is going to actually give you exactly the steps you need to take by looking at the guidebook. So stick around. I'm going to go over the third and last option, which I think is the most important option to understand. I'll be back in just a second to share with you about that option. All right, guys, so I'm back to go over option 3. What is option 3? Well, it's pretty simple. Have a licensed insurance brokerage or agency that specializes in Medicare health plans do it all for you. Guys, one of the greatest things that we do is providing service to those that call our office and they're telling us they're enrolling into Medicare. And a lot of times they have a lot of different questions, especially if they're not going to be drawing their Social Security, if they're drawing it, if they're retiring, if they're not retiring. There's just questions after questions after questions. And one of the simplest things for you to do is deal with a licensed professional that knows what they're doing, that are experts in the subject matter of Medicare health plans. And so our agency actually extends out the opportunity for our clients or potential clients to call in, and we walk them through the steps, and a lot of times help them fill the paperwork out. If they want to do it themselves, they can. We actually can do all the paperwork with or for them, and ensuring that they're filling it out correctly, doing the dates properly, signing the correct forms, getting those forms over to an HR manager if they're retiring, and all these moving parts. So if that's you and you'd like to be able to set up a time and say, hey, I really don't want to go into the Social Security office. I really don't want to do it online. I'm really just tired of all this process. I want to simplify this. Then option 3 really is the best option for you. Just give our office a call. Our number is going to be below. And also you can go below and click the calendar link. You can actually just set up a time to be able to have a consultation call. It costs you nothing. It allows us just to be able to give you some guidance. And then maybe you want to choose option 1 or option 2, but you have some questions about that. The video maybe didn't answer everything that you need. We will answer the questions for you regardless and help you. We'd love to be able to hold your hand through the process and eliminating the confusion that Medicare creates. We're here to make your life easy by making Medicare simple, and give us a call. Stick around. I'm going to tell you about the next video we're going to be going over in just a moment. I'll talk to you soon. Hey guys, stick around. On our next video, I'm going to be covering what's called as the full retirement age. When exactly can you start drawing your Social Security without being penalized or reduce your Social Security costs? Or if you extend out and don't draw your Social Security, how much more money you're going to make? We're going to be going over that and much more about the full retirement age in our next video. I'll see you soon.